The Forrester and Spencer war has just claimed its biggest casualty. Ridge issues a ruthless ultimatum, forcing Electra into a corner that ends in a devastating, explosive breakup with Will. Hello, I'm Emma Bennett from the B&B Spoilers YouTube channel. Ridge Forrester has finally done it. He has weaponized his absolute power, his family legacy, and his deep-seated, venomous hatred for the Spencer family to completely destroy his own granddaughter's happiness. The tension inside the hallowed halls of Forrester Creations has been building to a terrifying boiling point, and the collateral damage is none other than Electra Forrester and Will Spencer. The corporate espionage, the stolen designs, the secret fashion house swaps it has all culminated in a vicious personal attack. Ridge has drawn a line in the sand, and he is forcing Electra to cross it. The psychological warfare begins in the Forrester CEO office. Ridge corners Electra, standing tall and intimidating, using every ounce of his patriarchal authority to break her down. He doesn't just ask her to reconsider her relationship with Will. He issues a ruthless, non-negotiable ultimatum. Ridge weaponizes R.J. Forrester's bruised ribs, painting Will as a violent, uncontrollable monster who poses a physical threat to the family. Spencers and Forresters do not mix, Ridge snarls, completely ignoring his own dark history of violence. This is the exact same man who once brought Thorne as backup, barged into Bill Spencer's house uninvited, and literally threw him off a balcony. Yet, Ridge hypocritically uses Will's single punch to brand him an abuser. Ridge forces Electra into an impossible, agonizing corner. He demands that she choose between her highly anticipated jewelry line, the very career she has bled and sacrificed for, and the man she loves. He frames it as a choice between absolute loyalty to the Forrester legacy and a toxic future with a Spencer. The pressure is absolutely suffocating. Electra has already survived the horrific trauma of Ivy's manipulation, the Luna nightmare, and the dangerous underground dealings of Remy Price. She desperately wanted peace. But Ridge is holding her entire future hostage. If she chooses Will, she loses her family, her career, and her standing in Los Angeles. The ultimatum acts as a toxic catalyst, igniting a firestorm of doubt in Electra's mind. She begins to spiral, realizing that Will did keep massive secrets from her. He knew all about Hope Logan's shocking defection to Katie's rival company. He protected Bill and Katie's corporate espionage while Electra was left completely in the dark, looking like a fool in front of her own family. Ridge's venomous words echo relentlessly in her mind. He is a Spencer first, Electra. You will always be second to Dollar Bill's empire. The lingering sadness morphs into pure, unadulterated rage. The betrayal burns through her veins like acid. The confrontation at the beach house is nothing short of legendary. Electra storms through the doors like a Category 5 hurricane. Will is standing there, perhaps expecting a quiet, romantic evening. He is completely unaware of the apocalyptic storm about to make landfall in his living room. Electra doesn't hesitate. She doesn't cry. She unleashes absolute hell. You are a Spencer through and through, she screams, her voice slicing through the sound of the crashing ocean waves outside. The sheer intensity of her anger leaves Will temporarily paralyzed, unable to comprehend the sudden shift in the woman he loves. Electra points a trembling finger directly at Will's chest, accusing him of being heartless, calculating, and ruthlessly loyal to Dollar Bill over her. She tears into his pathetic excuses about corporate confidentiality. You call it business? I call it betrayal, she yells, the tears finally welling in her eyes. She reminds him of every single sacrifice she has made to defend him to her family, to Ridge, to RJ. She fought tooth and nail to prove he was different from his father. And how did he repay her? By keeping Katie and Bill's secrets. By prioritizing the House of Logan's petty fashion war over the fundamental trust in their relationship. Then comes the most devastating blow of the entire night. Electra looks Will dead in the eye, her expression hardening into stone, and delivers a speech that will echo in B&B history. Your blood is too cold to ever understand what I gave up for you. She spits out with venomous precision. You have that exact same ice in your veins as your father. You will always, always put the Spencer empire and your family's interests above my feelings. You don't know how to love a Forrester, Will. You only know how to conquer one. You are incapable of true loyalty, because your heart belongs to the Spencer dollar. Will is completely blindsided, the air knocked out of his lungs. He desperately tries to reach for her, tries to explain that the business secrets had absolutely nothing to do with his deep, unwavering love for her. He begs her to see reason, to see through the manipulation. He reminds her of their sacred promises, how they swore no one would ever tear them apart again. Not Ivy's scheming, not RJ's jealousy, and certainly not Ridge's tyranny. Don't let Ridge do this to us. Don't let him win, Will pleads, his voice cracking with raw, unfiltered desperation. He knows exactly who planted this toxic seed in her head, and he is watching his future slip through his fingers. But Electra steps back, violently refusing his touch. She tells him that Ridge didn't make this choice, Will's own deceitful actions did. She announces that she is completely done. Done being the collateral damage in the endless, exhausting Spencer and Forrester war. Done defending a man who keeps her in the dark while his family plots against hers. Fulfilling Ridge's ultimate wish, Electra drops the hammer, shattering their romance forever. We are over, Will. Officially. Permanently. I am choosing my family, my career, and I am choosing myself. Without another word, Electra turns on her heel and walks out the door, the heavy slam echoing through the empty, silent beach house. Will is left standing there, absolutely shattered into a million pieces. The man who has always had an answer, who has always fought tooth and nail for what he wanted, is completely paralyzed by grief. The agonizing pain in his eyes is palpable, as the crushing reality sets in. He has lost the absolute love of his life. The ruthless Forrester family has claimed the ultimate victory. Back at Forrester Creations, Ridge receives the news of the breakup. A smug, sickeningly victorious grin spreads across the dressmaker's face. He has successfully eliminated the Spencer threat from his granddaughter's life, executing his manipulative master plan flawlessly. Ridge doesn't care for a single second about Electra's broken heart, or the tears she is shedding. He only cares that the Forrester fortress remains impenetrable. Ridge gloats to anyone who will listen, boasting of his massive win. He tells everyone that Electra finally saw the sleazy, greedy truth about Will Spencer, cementing his own twisted sense of paternal supremacy. The ripple effects of this catastrophic breakup are going to be felt across the entire canvas. RJ Forrester is waiting eagerly in the wings, nursing his bruised ribs and his massive, inflated ego. With Will violently shoved out of the picture, RJ sees his golden opportunity to swoop in and claim Electra for himself. He will undoubtedly play the supportive, understanding cousin, ready to offer a strong shoulder to cry on. But RJ's smugness and opportunistic behavior are going to ignite a massive powder keg of resentment, especially with Melissa Dillon watching closely from the sidelines. Across town at Spencer Publications, Dollar Bill Spencer is going to hear about how Ridge manipulated this devastating breakup. Bill is not going to take this lying down for a fraction of a second. Ridge didn't just break Will's heart, he insulted the very core of the Spencer name. Bill will view this as a direct, unforgivable act of war. The corporate battle was just the appetizer. This is violently personal now. Bill will welcome the competition with open arms, ready to unleash a financial and legal hurricane that will shake Forrester Creations to its very foundation. The hatred between the Forresters and the Spencers has just reached a nuclear, apocalyptic level. There are no more boundaries. There is no more playing nice for the sake of the children. Ridge thinks he has won a major battle, but he has just awakened a sleeping, vengeful giant in Will Spencer. A heartbroken, betrayed Spencer is the most dangerous kind of Spencer. Will is going to channel all of his agony, all of his shattered dreams, and all of his raging fury directly into destroying Forrester Creations and everything Ridge holds dear. Expect Will to fully embrace the dark, ruthless side of his Spencer DNA. If Electra thinks his blood is cold now, she hasn't seen anything yet. Will is going to align himself completely with Katie, Bill, and the House of Logan. He will use every single piece of insider knowledge he has to crush Eric's upcoming couture line and elevate Hope's new brand to astronomical heights. It is going to be an absolute bloodbath on the runway, and Will is going to lead the charge with a heart made of solid ice. But what happens when the dust eventually settles? Electra is going to have to live with the devastating consequences of her choice. She chose Ridge's toxic approval over Will's unconditional love. When she sees Will transforming into the ruthless, calculating businessman Ridge always claimed he was, will she realize she created the very monster she feared? The absolute tragedy of this breakup is that it was entirely preventable. It was orchestrated by a patriarch who cares more about a petty family feud than his own flesh and blood's happiness. The psychological damage inflicted on Electra will leave lasting scars. She will have to walk the halls of Forrester Creations knowing that her success was bought with the price of her own heart. Every time she looks at a piece of jewelry from her new line, she will be reminded of the man she walked away from. And Will? He will never forget the look of absolute disgust on Electra's face when she accused him of having cold Spencer blood. That accusation will become his armor. He will wear his Spencer name like a badge of honor, ruthlessly executing Bill's orders to dismantle the Forrester legacy piece by piece. The collateral damage will be immense. Hope Logan is already collapsing under the weight of Brooke's fury, and now she will have a vengeful Will Spencer driving her new line at Logan. Steffi Forrester is already battling Sheila's manipulative divorce tactics, and now she will have to face a fully weaponized Spencer empire coming for her co-CEO seat. Even Carter Walton will be dragged into the mud, forced to use Hope's secret leave of absence to launch a legal attack against Katie and Bill. The entire city of Los Angeles is about to become a war zone. Ridge's gloating is going to backfire in the most spectacular way possible. He thought he was protecting Electra, but he has only painted a massive target on her back. When Will strikes back, he won't just target Ridge, he will target the very foundation of Forrester Creations, the company Electra sacrificed everything to save. We are barreling toward a showdown of epic, legendary proportions. Ridge Forrester versus Bill Spencer. Will Spencer versus R.J. Forrester. The rising house of Logan versus the crumbling empire of Forrester Creations. The battle lines are drawn in permanent ink, and the emotional casualties are piling up by the minute. Ridge's gloating is wildly premature. The war hasn't ended with this breakup. It has only just begun, and the fallout will be catastrophic. Will Electra realize she made the biggest mistake of her life before RJ completely sinks his claws into her? And just how far will a devastated Will Spencer go to make the Forrester family pay for destroying his heart? That plot was incredibly dramatic, and the tension is off the charts. Thank you all for watching. Remember, I'm Emma Bennett, and I wish you a wonderful day.